Hunting for Answers is a production of the Black Effect Podcast Network and iHeartRadio. Welcome to Hunting for Answers, a true crime podcast. I'm your host, Hunter. In Hope Mills, North Carolina, a 15-year-old girl leaves home for what should have been a normal night. She tells her family she is going to visit a friend nearby. It does not seem out of place, but where she is going that night was not where her family thought. Hours pass. No one hears from her. And as the search begins, one of the people taking part in the search will later be identified as someone close to the case. This is the story of Danielle Locklear. Danielle Locklear, known to many as Danny, was born on July 10, 1998, in Fayetteville, North Carolina. She was just 15 years old. She lived in Hope Mills, North Carolina, a community just outside Fayetteville. She was a freshman at Southview High School. And to the people who knew her, Danielle was not just a name in a case. She was a daughter, a granddaughter, a friend. Her obituary remembered her as someone who enjoyed school, who loved baking, arts, and crafts, and who was known for smiling, laughing, and lending a hand. So much of her life was still ahead of her. But on March 11, 2014, that life was interrupted. That day, Danielle was at her grandparents' home. At some point, she left, telling them she was going to see a friend nearby. A short trip, not far from home. But as time passed, she did not return. And as the hours passed, there were no signs of where she had gone. No sightings. No word from Danielle. By March 13th, her grandfather reported her missing. The search started quickly. Family, friends, community members. They walked through neighborhoods, checked areas Danielle was known to visit, hoping she would turn up. And among the people searching was Jamichael Malloy, Danielle's ex-boyfriend. He was 17 years old, and like Danielle, still a teenager. In the days after Danielle disappeared, he remained close to the search, showing up, walking alongside the people looking for Danielle. But as investigators continued working to trace Danielle's last known movements, the focus of the case began to change. Weeks later, on April 2nd, 2014, a body was found in the South River, near the Cumberland and Sampson County line. It was Danielle Locklear. Her body had been weighed down beneath the water. After weeks of searching, the answer her family had been hoping not to hear had come. This was no longer a missing person case. It was a homicide investigation. And as investigators began working backward through Danielle's final hours, their attention turned toward someone already close to the case. Danielle had met with her ex-boyfriend the night she disappeared. The two went to a creek area off Legion Road, a place where teens were known to spend time. At some point, an argument took place, and somewhere in the hours that followed, Danielle was killed. The medical examiner determined her death was caused by asphyxiation, but many of the details about exactly what happened have never been fully made public. After her death, investigators said Danielle was not left there. Another teen, 18-year-old Dominic Locke, was later charged in connection with helping dispose of her body. She was moved from the creek to the South River, where her body was later found. As investigators continued working the case, digital evidence started filling in the gaps. Text messages showed Danielle had told Malloy she believed she might be pregnant, but an autopsy later found that she was not. Investigators also reviewed phone data and other evidence that did not align with what had initially been said. And as investigators continued comparing the evidence, more of the timeline started to come into focus. Over time, Malloy admitted to his role in Danielle's death. The case moved through the courts. In 2016, Jamichael Malloy pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. He was sentenced to between 25 and 31 years in prison. In court, Danielle's mother, Rona Fowler, told Malloy, "You ripped out my soul." Dominic Locke pleaded guilty to accessory after the fact to first-degree murder and received a sentence of 6 to 8 years. Locke was later released after serving his sentence. The investigation had reached a conclusion, but for Danielle's family, the loss remained. Danielle Locklear left home expecting to come back. But somewhere in those final hours, her life was taken. Our thoughts are with Danielle Locklear's family and loved ones. As we close this episode, remember that sharing her story helps keep her name from being forgotten. Danielle mattered. Her life should not have ended this way. For more cases and updates, follow Hunting for Answers. You can also connect with us through our Facebook group and find us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. If there's a story you believe deserves attention, we'd love to hear from you. Thank you for joining us for another episode. Until next time. Hunting for Answers is a production of the Black Effect Podcast Network. For more podcasts from the Black Effect Podcast Network, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.